Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love just how creative so many members of the Magic community are, and yeah, this is gonna blow you away. Chef is such a cool new format. Thank you so much, Bojangles Panda, for sharing it. It is awesome. A format inspired by Dan, but with a unique twist and with an amazing name, Chef. I mean, that's just fun to say. Absolutely, Chef. Let's jump into it, and I will try to keep up with all the cards as I go at the exact same time. So here we go. So Chef, welcome to the devilishly, if I could talk, delicious format of Chef. There we go. An 80-card share deck, 1v1 format inspired directly by Dan. The deck consists mostly black cards with a green splash. Each player begins with 5 life. A player loses the game if they reach 0 life and wins if they reach 20. So this is a different concept where, like Dan, I believe Dan also has 5 hits, right? A 4-1 fish hitting your opponent from 20 life down to 0. This one's 5 life, but Dockside Chef itself, which I'll talk about real quick. It's a 1-2 for a single mana. Enchantment creature, human citizen, pay 1 a black sacrifice artifact creature, draw a card. So again, a 1-2 hitting for 1. Obviously, it takes 5 hits to take someone out with that. But also there is the component, the other aspect of the game that says, you know what? If you gain enough life, you also win the game. Each player plays a kitchen trying to outcook the other in a race to 20 life, which can be achieved with 5 foods. But don't discount the early game, as 5 hits from Dockside Chef will lose you the game. So this is the kind of crazy kitchen like the TV show The Bear, where, yeah, crazy stuff is happening, but also, yeah, apparently in this kitchen specifically, maybe a little bit of violence where you are, again, like you're trying to outcook the other kitchen, but also maybe you're going over and punching the other chef, essentially, to try to stop them from winning the game. So there you go. So again, you can take a player down to 0. You go up to 20. I love this concept. Again, 5 foods will get you there. From 5 life to 20, that's 15 life you gain from the 5 foods, 3 life per food, of course. It's a really cool concept. Let's keep going. 10 copies of the Dockside Chef or the namesake card. As 1-2s, they can effectively block each other, so many cooks in the kitchen are the way to go. Don't worry, there are plenty of ways to thin your opponent's kitchen, even turn them into ingredients for your own meals. Gross! There are minimal combat tricks, so consider carefully if you really want to use that revitalizing repast to meet your land drop. It's a really cool concept. Let's keep going. Dockside Chef isn't the only threat in the kitchen, though, and here we go. This is where I have to start trying to switch up cards, too. Here we go. In the darkness lurks the voracious Old Flitterfang. Talk about that card real quick, and I'll talk about the rest of that description. A 3/4 rat fairy flying for 5 mana in black. At the beginning of each end step, if the creature died this turn, you make a food token, which, of course, is very valuable in this format at 3 life. Pay 2 and a black sack for the creature or artifact, +2/+2 until end of turn. Also very valuable. I mean, this could just one-hit KO an opponent, essentially, in this format with that flying, and get over those chefs. Anyways, whoops, hit the other one. Here we go. In the darkness lurks the old voracious Flitterfang, who will be willing to tear down your opponent for a few meals. Old Flitterfang acts a recurring threat and likely the #1 enemy to keep removal up for. Target with Graveyard Recursion and tutor forth 1 copy of Vampiric Tutor. Note this card's had some good ingredients in Chef, but is it necessary to get another copy of Discerning Taste or even Old Flitterfang in its place? Yeah, so real quick, Vampiric Tutor, many of you probably know what that one is. That is a $35 card. This entire 80-card deck, according to Moxfield, is like $54, so that is the vast majority of the budget there. So if you take that out, it's much more budget-friendly, though it's already pretty budget-friendly, obviously, for like a one-deck format. Yeah, $50 or so is very reasonable for that. But yeah, I mean, even more reasonable at 20 if you take out Vampiric Tutor. There you go. This format is brand new and likely in need of improvements. Please vouch for me on Reddit at Bojangles Panda with any recommendations, and I look forward to seeing other modifications of Chef if you're so inclined. Yeah, this is obviously, it's already had an amazing spot. Absolutely love the design of this. We'll get through the other cards too, but if you do play with it, if you do have any recommendations for improvements, it's a great way to do so. Again, to be able to go through and play something that someone else built and give your own feedback, adjust to make it your own. Alec built his own format around Slime Against Humanity, and I love it. It is so much fun, but that one has already made some adjustments as well with some changes to some of the cards as well. So yeah, it's continuously evolving, and I love that. Okay, so some points on specific gameplay and interactions below. Don't read if you don't want spoiled. So if you don't want spoiled, you can hold off right now. Again, I will have the link in the description below for the cards in Chef, but if you're okay like me to kind of see some of the cool interactions, Stay tuned. Here we go. So, Dockside Chef. Let's go back to that one really quick if I can get to it. Here we go. The main threat to the enemy and most helpful for getting early attacks and try to force an early win. Later in the game, the sacrifice ability will be helpful for card draw and even combo with its tempting apple to remove your opponent's creatures. And that one is this, which is a Ledger Artifact food for 4 mana. Enters the battlefield, gain control target creature till end of turn. Untap that creature, gains haste till end of turn. So steal a chef or steal the old Chitterfang. Pay 2, tap, sacrifice it. You gain 3 life. Pay 2, tap, sacrifice it. Target opponent loses 3 life. So a big card for this kind of a format. Tempting Apple to remove your opponent's creatures. The 10 count is an homage to Dandan for Dockside Chef, but the focus on removal in Chef, that number could be possibly increased. So again, if you want to increase it and try that out, go for it. Old Flitterfang, again, already talked about that one, but let's pull it back up real quick. Mostly described above, but a lot of the other cards interact to try to fight for the one copy in the deck. Lands like Mudflat Village and Witch's Cottage, pulling from the graveyard. Mudflat Village is this land. Tap for a colorless, tap for a black, spin only cast a creature spell, tap for 1 a black, tap, sacrifice it. Bring back a bat, lizard, or rat, or squirrel. Rat is what we care about. From your graveyard back to your hand. Witch's Cottage is this one. Enters the battlefield, tap, must control 3 or more other swamps. There's plenty of swamps to go around. Enters the battlefield, untapped. You can put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. So some library manipulations, some graveyard manipulations to get that one back. Be careful tutoring the top, as an opponent could draw off the top speed. Draw off the top at instant speed. Yeah, that is the interesting interaction with this, where it's like, oh no, oh, they got it. Okay, The Witch's Vanity, though, yet another card to discuss. Here we go. Oh, after we get to that one. There we go. Focus on removing Dockside Chefs, in particular, can't hit Flitterfang, and buffing your own at Lore 3. So this one has, of course, the first one, destroy target creature opponent controls, mana value 2 or less. So again, can't hit that big threat, but hits the Dockside Chefs. Second one is make a food token, which again is a win condition, or it's a way to pad your life total. And the third, create a Wicked Roll token attached to our creature you control. So there you go, making yours a bigger threat. The card that I probably should have pulled up earlier, my apologies. Again, Vampiric Tutor. Again, this is actually $37 right now. So again, I think the rest of the decks are around $17 according to Moxfield. So yeah, having this in the deck is really cool to like manipulate the library. Instant for a single black mana, search life for a card, shuffle it, put that card on top, you lose 2 life. 2 life is an absurd amount in this format in a way where it's like, okay, I'm at 5. Now I'm at 3. Oh my goodness. But of course, be able to go get whatever card you need, and top library manipulation can be very cool with this. That being said, again, if you don't want to include it, I mean, yeah, you can save a bunch of money, essentially. Again, this format would just cost, what, like 20 bucks for the entire deck, around there? So, yeah. I personally would probably be cutting this one. Okay, next up, Discerning Taste. And again, a card that was recommended to potentially utilize instead of Vampiric Tutor if you want to add an extra copy of this one. There's 4 copies in deck right now. This is a source for 3 mana in black. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them in your hand, the rest in your graveyard. You gain life with Grace, Powerbomb, creature cards put in your graveyard this way. So that can be a good way to, again, get something off the top, fill the graveyard things you need, and maybe even just gain some life in the process. Card provides much of the flavor of Chef, and I debated, including 8 copies, like Memory Lapse and Dandan. Fills the graveyard quickly to fuel recursion effects while enticing the caster with crucial life gain. Decision between drawing Old Flitterfang or yarding him for a free life is a juicy one. Absolutely. Myers Toll. Here we go. Let's pull that one up. That is a sorcery for a single black mana. Target player reveals a number of cards in their hand equal to the number of swamps you control. You choose one of them. Player discards that card for a single black mana. Encourages basic land usage along with Witch's Cottage, but telegraphs to your opponent that you can't cast Viridian Harvest or Vitalizing Repast. Yeah, it's a really cool effect. Absolutely. And really quick, Viridian Harvest, an enchantment, or for a single green mana enchant artifact, put in a graveyard, you gain 6 life. So it can turn one of your foods into like a gain 9 life, which is a ton. Revitalizing Repast, mentioned before, an instant for 2 mana and Golgari. Sorry, 2 mana. A Golgari mana is what I meant. Put a counter onto our creature, gains indestructible on appearance. Also an MDFC land on the backside with tap for either of your colors. So yeah, again, you can utilize it as a land if you need to, or it can be more valuable potentially to save one of your creatures. So there you go. Next up, we've got Foreboding Fruit. This one is a sorcery for 3 mana in black. Target player draws 2 cards, loses 2 life. And if you spend at least 3 black mana to cast a spell, create a food token. So this one can be a bit risky if you use it on yourself. Obviously, earlier in the game, you're like, okay, I draw 2, lose 2. Oh my gosh, I'm down to 3 life. That being said, of course, you can make that life back up and then some by getting that food token to gain you that life back. Or, you know, you could utilize it. Again, an interesting way to close out the game by targeting an opponent with it, too. That's quite a bunch of life to lose for them. Back to Viridian Harvest, though, a way to swing the game back in your favor by either locking out an opponent or an enemy's food or spicing up your own artifacts. It's possible this card may be too powerful in the deck list. I haven't had any issues with it so far. This one's a really cool card, and yeah, again, like, I didn't even think about that aspect of it. attach it to an opponent's food. If they sacrifice it, you gain more life than they did. They sacrifice it, they gain 3. You gain 6. That's a really cool concept for that one. Next up, the Underworld Cookbook. Another chef defining card. Expect most games for each player to have one out and be able to fill the yard with whatever they desire while making food in the process. It also acts as a threat to Flitterfang staying in the graveyard for too long. The cookbook in hand, there are no bad draws from Dockside Chef. It's a really cool concept. I like, again, the flavor of it is just so good, and it works so well in an artifact for 1. Tap, discard a card, make a food, which is huge again in this format. Pay 4, tap, sacrifice, return to our creature card from your grave to your hand. So yeah, again, bring back that old Flitterfang. Moving on, Witch's Oven. Again, so flavorful. Artifact for 1, tap, sacrifice creature, create a food token. Sacrifice creature's toughness 4 or greater, create 2 food tokens instead. Imagine the delicacy of tempting old Flitterfang with an apple and tossing him in the oven with 3 food tokens. Yeah, you could definitely do that. 3 bowls of boards, chicken bowl enough said. 3 bowls of boards is a artifact food for 2. Pay 2, tap, choose one that has been chosen. 2 damage to our creature, tap to our creature, sacrifice it, you gain 3 life. Yeah, lots of great options to have from there. And then the last one mentioned in this, Even Stronghold, the only land that I believe deserves notes. I added as an homage to Dandan's the temple. I think the sacrifice lands at a big risk goes to reward in the heat of the early game. Absolutely. Oh, I accidentally hit that one. There we go. A land that enters the battlefield, tap. You can tap for a black, but you can tap and sacrifice it for a burst of mana to black mana. So yeah, that's a really cool concept. There are other cards to this as well that I'll point out really quick. Bumbleflower's Share Pot. Enters battlefield, create a food token, pay 5, tap, sacrifice to a target non-land permanent, only at sorcery speed, so that can be very cool. Lembas, yet another food. Artifact food for 2, pay 2, tap, sacrifice, gain 3 life, enters the battlefield, scry 1, draw 1, put the grave from the battlefield, shuffle into the library, so this is one that just perpetually keeps coming back again and again and again. Some instants to talk about, Feed the Cauldron, instant speed for 3 mana in black. Short target creature with mana value 3 or less, if it's your turn, create a food token, so that could be a very good way to turn a Dockside Chef into some food. Nocturnal Hunger, an instant for 3 mana and black, gift a food. Short target creature, the food wasn't promised, you lose 2 life. So yeah, that little push and pull of, oh, okay, I get to destroy something, but by doing so, I've got to give my opponent life, or I have to lose life myself, and life is a valuable resource in this format, obviously. Bake into a pie, destroy a creature, and you make a food token, so take out that creature, and now you get the life gain. Some sorceries to talk about. We've got Back for Seconds, a sorcery with Bargain, so sacrifice artifact, enchantment, or tokens to cast a spell if you want to. Put the 2 target creatures from your grave to your hand. The spell's Bargain, you may put one of those cards mana value 4 or less on the battlefield instead of putting it back in your hand, which can be quite spicy. Taste of Death, though. Each player sacrifices 3 creatures. That is massive. You create 3 food tokens. That is huge. Wiping out the board most likely and making a lot of foods. Again, that's 9 potential life gained. That can be game ending. Some lands real quick. Polluted Mire, just a cycle land, which can be quite nice for you. Strangled Cemetery, enters battlefield tapped unless a player has 13 or less life, which, well, early in the game, that's probably going to be the factor of it. And then, of course, some swamps. We got 18 of those in this. And then finally, if I don't scroll too far, Temple of Malady. Oh, Temple of Malady, there we go. Enters battlefield tapped. So, and then it makes you scry 1 as well. So again, some top library manipulation for you and for your opponent. Taps for either of your colors. Again, a really cool concept for a format. I love the design of this, and I love kind of turning Dandan on its head in a way where you say, you know what? No, this one's built around chefs. You know, there's the little story aspect to it. You say, you know what? We're competing kitchens. 5 life starting. So almost nothing to start off with, right? But 5 hits of Dockside does it. But also the other avenue to victory being 20 life gained. I love the interplay of food and like keeping these creatures in. It's just a really cool concept. A lot of give and take with it. And of course, the library manipulation things as well. It's a really cool design. Again, thank you so much for this design, Bojangles Panda. I will try to make sure I remember to actually link this in the description as well as all the cards on it too. But yeah, make sure you check this out. If you're a fan of these kind of really cool, kind of interesting fan-made formats, yeah, make sure you check it out. Chef, fun to say, fun to play. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on this one. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.